What is up? My name is Douglas Nyback. This is DNA, and today we are going to be doing a comprehensive breakdown of Dacre Montgomery's Audition for Stranger Things. This is one of my favorite auditions that are available online because it is so wildly imaginative, and I can't wait to get into it. Before we do, please click like and subscribe, and in the description below there's a link to a free course called Framing 101, How to Craft a Competitive Self-Tape. It will teach you everything you need to know about how to frame your auditions. If you take it, you will get more bookable, and it's free. I love that for you. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, here we go. Dacre Montgomery, Stranger Things, Season 2 audition tape. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Dacre, and I'm going for the role of Billy.
Okay, so you might notice that he's shirtless here. This is a swing, man. Nobody else did that. Nobody else. There is trying to be interesting for the sake of being interesting. Like you're just in the middle of a take and you're like, I'm gonna eat a banana in this scene. That's not useful. Most actors that I know hate doing what he just did, i.e. that is called a slate. At the end of the day, it's essentially just the equivalent of shaking casting's hand. What he does here, which is so interesting and so offbeat, is that one, we get a sense of who he is, but he's essentially in this slating as Billy. There is an element that's both uniquely him and uniquely the character in that it's just like, it's so unequivocally brazen that if I'm casting, I'm like, how do I not watch the rest of this thing? Like now it's like, all right, cool. It's yours if you want it, man. You better act good. Nobody else is that confident. If you have a bold choice in your mind, follow it, film it. Don't have to send it, film it. What's the worst that can happen? Doesn't work. But out of the gate, this is a guy who is saying, I'm going to follow my creative instincts. What else would I want from an actor? Let's keep going. This is a ballsy choice. This is like 10 seconds of silence where he's being utterly captivating. Usually when it comes to auditions, what I recommend is like get into the action right away. But the real rule is storytelling in every moment. And the way he's walking in, the wardrobe, the hair, the not giving us his eyes, operating in profile. There's nothing here that I don't believe is true of Billy. It's causing me out of the gate to be essentially asking, like, what is he doing? Which realistically is exactly where you want casting. Because what is he doing really means I have no idea what he's going to do next. If you make them not know what you're going to do next when it is scripted, then they are eating out of the palm of your hand. Let's keep watching.
You wasn't planning on taking that body from me, were you?
You get away, man. I found him.
This is a guy who understands the angles of his face and how they work. The profile, the downward eye line, giving the audience just enough access to his eyes to give thought, and then the eye line up. He knows exactly how he looks in frame, and he's not afraid to manipulate it. This is a show where his character is going to need to be hot, going to need to be desired, going to need to be dangerous, and he is working all of those angles. Even the wardrobe choices. This is like borderline 1950s outsiders bad boy look. Everything that he's doing physically is pointing towards that. He is proving unequivocally with every breath he takes that he can do this job. That's really all we're asking in casting. Let's keep going.
Dibs. Oh, I guess I should start running. You got dibs.
I earned him. You came in a car. That's not fair. He's mine.
That's not fair. He's mine. Well, not anymore.
Technical simplicity and control. You don't have to be small. There is nothing about this performance that you would label as small right now. And this guy is barely moving his face. He's understanding the heavy lifting that the camera is doing for him, and he's operating within that coverage with complete ownership. He's forming opinions about what is being said to him. It is affecting his delivery. He is carrying in what's being done to him into how he responds. You get the sense that if he was given a different line read, that he wouldn't do his delivery the same way every time. We watch an audition like this and I'm like, that guy can do this a million different ways. And that's incredible.
Now listen, you got two choices.
So he takes a step. He's putting himself into a close-up. I did a previous reaction vid to the Rachel McAdams audition from The Notebook. In that audition, there's a camera person there. They punch in on her. He understands. He's alone in a room. Like, for all we know, he's talking to somebody on Zoom. He understands, all right, I need to put myself into a close-up. Why? Because film and television performance is entirely built in close-up. So he starts himself in a mid. He creates the energy and aesthetic of the character. And then he's like, all right, time to make sure they know I know where my job is and that I can crush it. It's great. It's masterful.
Either you go quietly and I take the body, or you stay, I beat the crap out of you, and I still take the body.
One of the biggest mistakes that actors make when they're playing tough characters is that they spend the entire audition trying to prove that they're tough. The story is set up so that we know this guy is tough. Everybody talks about him like he is tough. The wardrobe is built around the concept that he is tough. The hair tells us he's tough. He doesn't have to prove that. He just is. He's just doing the thing that he's needing to do, which is carrying with him all of the opinions of everybody else in the show and what they have told us, the audience, that this guy is. And he's saying, what's my intention? To threaten. Do I mean it? Yes. That's all I have to do. Just do the thing. And everything else backs you up. You don't have to prove anything. You have to do what is written.
Okay, Chambers, you little shit. This is your last chance. Easy way, hard way. What do you say?
Easy way, hard way. Now, that also tells me, one, he's fluid. He's in his body. He's making choices on the fly. Two, tells me that he's not just telling the story sternum up. We can get trapped in the frame so that there's no storytelling going on with anything below our sternums. He's so in his body, and yet he's so technically controlled here. This tells me that this is a guy who's telling the story with his holistic nervous system. The entirety of who he is telling the story, and that little choice, getting his hands in the frame. One, keeps the frame alive and active. Two, it shows me that he's not just a bobbing, talking head.
Why don't you go screw your mother some more?
You are dead, kid.
You're gonna have to kill me, Billy.
Oh, I got no problem with that. Okay, now listen, why don't you put that away before you shoot yourself in the foot with it, okay? You ain't got the sack to shoot a woodchuck.
Good, clear, simple eyeline work. He brings a knife up. This guy clearly like has a gun or something, and now suddenly he's a guy who's brought a knife to a gunfight, right? And so he's now massively taken a step back in status, but clocks it back up to this guy. And then it's about, does this guy have it in them to use what they're holding? So it goes from being, I'm going to intimidate you, I'm going to f you up if I need to, and it becomes, oh, you could kill me. That is a whole different conversation. So he switches brilliantly from I'm the dangerous person to that's a dangerous thing. Is this person dangerous?
If you don't stand still, I'm gonna...
Extra investment in listening. Asks a question, doesn't get an answer, pushes a little bit harder. That follow-up, that intellectual follow-up, that intellectual investment in response, so important. Because then the other character's hesitation, the other character's silence becomes this beautiful thing that you can catapult a choice off of, which is exactly what he does here.
If you don't stand still, I'm gonna shoot you.
Okay, come on, why
Swear
don't
to
you
God.
just give me that gun, okay, and get out of here while you still have a chance? You must have at least some sense, right?
Suck my fat one, you cheap dime store hood.
What are you gonna do?
Such an interesting choice to expose his throat. There's very little that's more vulnerable than that, right? To expose that, to expose your jugular. You gonna do it? I'll even make it easy for you, right? I will expose myself. It jacks up the danger in the scene and tells us that his character is like, all right, cool, I'll die. Like, that's a level of unhinged. It tells us that he is a genuinely dangerous person that we cannot predict, which is the character of Billy. Like, Billy is not well. Billy is violent. In this instance, he shows us an element of internal danger that is captivating.
Are you gonna kill me?
Yeah, Billy, I am.
I'm gonna get you for this one.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry about that.
still facing down a gun. Are you gonna kill me? And he sees that the guy's gonna. And we watch all that thought play out until he makes the choice to disengage. But what he doesn't do is let the tension drop in the scene. His character theoretically loses. He doesn't get what he wants. The other character gets what they want. But Billy is like, all right, I'm going to get you. So I didn't get what I want. I'm going to make you pay for it. Film and television isn't a beginning, middle, and end medium. It's a beginning, middle, beginning medium. One scene moves to another, moves to another, moves to another. Your job is to set up the tension at the end of one scene for what's going to happen next, not to drop the energy of the show. And in this case, Dacre's like, I didn't get what I wanted. So this is going to come back, audience. This is coming back. And if you're an audience member, how do you not want to watch that next scene? He understands this perfectly because he jacks the scene up with tension at a time where the vast majority of actors are going to de-escalate because he doesn't get what he wants. Then we have this weird little interlude, which I love. It's quirky and strange. We're going to watch it and I'm going to talk about it. Just weird. Weird end the character. It is a character who is unhinged and in his body and has so much internal chaos that he has to express it. And in that case, dance and sunglasses. But I'm just like, oh, wow, that's a look into Billy's life at home in his bedroom, staring at his mirror. It's messed up. It feels dangerous and it feels unpredictable, and it is unpredictable. No other actor is putting that interlude in. That is not, again, saying like put an interlude into everything that you do, but follow your creative instinct. This is a creative product. Follow your instinct.
Jesus, this place is a real shithole.
It's okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. He's beginning with movement. A little bit of movement, wardrobe adjustment between scene 1 and scene 2, which is always a welcome thing. I'll often ask actors to do this. It's good to show yourself in a variety of different looks. Casting directors have imagination. They do, but they're so inundated with performers that as much as you can help them view you as the character in a variety of different facets, the better it is. They have an incredibly difficult job, and one of your jobs as an actor is to help them see you as the character in a myriad of ways. So, this is a great idea.
Okay. I don't see any waves around here.
Okay, music is playing. This one's the big one. A lot of actors, when this audition came out, I'd get them coming in here to coach, and they'd be like, okay, cool, I want to play this song, while I'm doing my scene, or I want to, this is a moment where I want a song to start playing. And so it was such a strong choice that this became a copycat moment. The answer here isn't play music in your takes. The answer is have the courage to make bold choices, to use your imagination to more holistically tell the story of your tape, and to unapologetically represent your authentic truth of the fiction. That's what he does here. Now, if music is a part of that for you, and it helps accurately represent the truth of the fiction, which it does in this scene, we're going to talk about it, then go nuts, play music. But more importantly, use your creative self and ask, are there angles of approach that are still true to the non-negotiable truths of this text that are true uniquely to me and my creative vision of this character? And if so, back those with everything that you've got. That's what he does in this tape. That is the biggest takeaway, in my opinion. Let's keep going.
Well, clearly you haven't seen the high school girls yet.
That's not funny.
No, it's not. It's not funny. You know why? Because I'm stuck here. Forever in this nightmare, this crazy friggin' Hicktown Twilight Zone.
This is all really interesting. Just the content of what he's talking about. The things he's talking about are objectively funny. In the script, they're almost written as jokes. She says that's not funny. He's not delivering it like it's funny. This is a guy who does genuinely feel trapped. He's treating these as truths. That is what is actually in the text. Our job is to find the non-negotiable truths of this text. It's not about my interpretation of it. It's investigation of what's there. It's not about interpretation of what it is. This is a character who is like someone says to him, that's not funny. And his response is, no, it's not. Dacre is smart enough to say he means that. That's true. This isn't funny to him. So I'm not going to deliver any of this like it's funny. And it still will be funny because the writing is funny. But his relationship to it is not funny. He's trapped. He's on edge. He is at the end of his rope. He is dangerous. And the line's pretty funny. So he manages to get the best of both worlds out of this.
It's your fault.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You say it's my fault. It's my fault that we're here?
I didn't say anything.
Hey.
It's my fault. We don't know the backstory of the character, but he's telling us the backstory of the character by his reaction to what she says. We see vulnerability because it's extremely personal. We see that he's hurt. Anybody watching this is like, oh, that hurt his feelings. But it's not manifesting in a soft response. That hurt is not manifesting as a paralytic. The hurt is being poured through the prism of the character and is manifesting in aggression. And we're going to see it become quite dangerous now.
Billy, slow down!
Billy, slow down. This is the first moment where we're like, they're in a car. The traditional choice here is to set up like this, like you're driving, right? He's still standing. If what the audition is asking you to prove is not, are you capable of sitting down? Then why not find a more interesting way to represent what the audition is asking you to do? In this case, he's about to like potentially run over the main characters of this show. What he's being asked to do by casting is, can you be dangerous? Can you make us believe that the leads of this show are in jeopardy, despite the fact that they are covered in plot armor? Can you make us believe that this character is unhinged enough that he would be capable of mowing down a bunch of kids? In this regard, however many actors did this audition, which was probably like 1,000, he's the only one who did it this way.
But these are new hit friends?
No, I don't know that.
Well, how would I try and hit him then? Do I get bonus points if I get
Volume gets jacked up. He starts to dance. He's yelling.
That's not funny. Stop it. Stop it, Billy. Stop it.
Whoa! That was close, huh? Yeah!
He is completely unhinged. It doesn't matter that he's not driving a car in the audition. He is chaos and unpredictability incarnate, and that is what he is auditioning for. Why wouldn't I give him this job? On the day, I'm just like, get in a car, go. We can see Max being traumatized, being terrified, and he is just like, totally fine with it. Do you think that she is going to push back that way again? Like, what is he trying to accomplish in this scene? Oh, she's talking back. She's telling me that I'm responsible for where we are right now. She's telling me that this is all my fault. I'm going to make sure that she never, ever dares to do that again. Do you think she's gonna? I wouldn't. That's utter and complete commitment to intention. This is a perfect example of what happens when a character and his creative impulses and his imagination are uniquely synced up, and he is willing to champion those creative choices in an unconventional way. It's not to say that he wasn't scared making these choices. Fear will happen. Courage is a choice. This is a courageous audition. It's what I love about it.
Name's Billy. Nice to meet you.
Like, he says, name's Billy, nice to meet you. And I'm like, yeah, he is. He's Billy. It's so offbeat. It's so wildly not what casting would have expected. 9 out of 10 actors don't give bad auditions. They just give the exact same audition. The 1 out of 10 that is the outlier, more often than not, is the one who actually does what's written in a way that is truly unique to their instrument and serves the story. It is an incredibly empowering way to think about your auditions. And this audition, this tape, it just, 1, I want to become more imaginative as an actor. And 2, I want to find deeper truth in the material. Those 2 things will get you booking. A comprehensive understanding of the non-negotiable story points put there by the fiction, and your willingness to say, this is how my instrument exists within that truth. Let's go. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to do some more of these. I have at dnybackact.com a program called the Foundations Program. It's 5 courses built around the idea that they will teach you everything you need to know to craft a bookable audition. So check those out if you so desire. Check out the free course because free is good, and go be people.